looking at a
Now
fake
let me tell you
story.
a little about this so that you find out what brought me to this state and whether I managed to get back into my body. Although, by looking at me, it's hard to say that I'm off my head. As a child, when I was really small, I
How
heard
can
an
you become a
interesting story
ghost?
from my older sister. She said that there exists a ritual through which you can become invisible. That is to say, you can leave your body and turn into a real ghost for a while. To what extent do you think this information inspired a child about 7 or 8 years? That's right. As soon as my
Let me
sister told
check
me
the
about this
comments
ritual,
of this
I could no
thing.
longer think about a general
Okay, I saw a
cleaning in my
comment.
sister's room, iron a lot of washed clothes, and wash the windows. I hate all these household chores, but this time I had to agree to all the terms because this was the only way how I could get out of my body. At
Yeah,
the end of the
like
ritual,
that's so
I was
fake.
like a squeezed lemon, and every muscle in my body was trembling because of overstrain that I had experienced. I just wanted to lie down and merge with my bed, but I remembered what this was all for. So I demanded that my sister fulfill her promise and take me out of my body. She replied that I needed to go to bed and soon I would get out of my body. In anticipation, I fell asleep and saw really exciting dreams. However, when I woke up, I had the feeling that I had been deceived. I demanded an explanation from my sister and wanted her to answer why I did not leave my body after the ritual. I was really angry and was about to make a real scandal, but my sister managed to calm me down. Clark, I saw with my own eyes how your phantom was roaming all over our house last night. Meanwhile, you were definitely sleeping tight in your bed, she said. Apparently, I actually left my body, but for some reason, I did not notice or did not remember it. This thought really intrigued
Wait,
me, so
so
my
you
sister
mean
and
if
I
I
began to
sleep,
practice
I
ritual
can
from
get
time to
out of my
time, but I
body?
never managed to
Wow, this
remember
I didn't get out of
and
my
decided
body.
to stop it by no longer engaging in weird rituals. Also, I began to suspect that my sister came up with this idea only in order to exploit my work for her own purposes. However, the idea of being able to leave my body did not disappear from my mind. But I could not even imagine that soon it would happen in reality, and what's more, under very strange circumstances. It was an ordinary spring day. I was slowly coming back home from the hospital after having tests. Suddenly, I felt dizzy. Everything was getting dark around, and being unable to keep my balance, I fell to the ground. But then I quickly got up and was surprised that my state suddenly improved dramatically.
How do you know?
Then I looked down and saw a very strange thing, namely, my body, lying on the ground. I looked at my palms. They were transparent, and I realized that my soul had left my body. It means that it
Wait,
happened
guys,
exactly
I caught him in 4K.
lying on the
Look.
ground. I looked at my palms. They were transparent, and I realized that
If he was really a ghost, he would have been phasing through all of the ground right now. But he wasn't.
my soul had left my body. It means that it happened exactly how I had dreamed of for many years. But instead of joy, I felt fear and anxiety then. There was not a single soul next to my body. So I went to look for people to call for help. But I forgot that without a physical body, I could not interact with them in any way, which is why I was screaming in vain, passing through other people, and was completely invisible to this world. So I returned to my body and waited for my savior. I was very scared and was praying for someone to finally come to me. A lot of bad thoughts were spinning in my head, and some of them terrified me. While shuddering, I thought that I was dead and that I might be buried. I definitely didn't want that. So I started trying to jump back into my body, but this was in vain. I lay down on it, jumped in it, fell on it, and even tried to awaken myself by slapping, but the body was as if not mine, and all my attempts to interact did not bring any positive results at all. Suddenly, a group of guys appeared on the horizon. When they approached, I realized that these were my classmates. Like never before, I was glad to see them and even forgot about my state. So I rushed to them and began telling them about what had happened. But they, of course, neither saw nor heard me. So the only thing that I could do was to wait. Soon they noticed my body and rushed to help me. They checked my pulse, and apparently I didn't have it because guys were shaking me, rubbing my ears, and hitting my cheeks. And at that moment, I was worried that I would never return to my body. Come on, call the ambulance.
Why ads?
I was talking excitedly with emptiness. Then one of my classmates finally got out his phone. The arrival of the doctors did not bring the desired results either, but they put me in an ambulance and took me to the hospital. I was really worried that they would take only the body with them, while I would stay here. So I did not even go a step away from my physical body and was carefully watching myself. When I was brought to the hospital, I overheard the doctor's conversation and learned that I had critically low levels of iron, zinc, and something else in my blood, so an urgent transfusion was needed. Then I had to only observe the situation and trust the doctors completely. However, it turned out that I have a very rare blood type, AB negative, and because of this, some difficulties arose. The necessary blood was absent in the bank, and that's why doctors had to find a donor. I was so worried that I started following the nurse who was tasked with finding the donor. She went downstairs where my classmates were sitting and told them everything. Then they began to name their blood types, one after another. Only Jacob was a little embarrassed and nervous, and after some confusion, he said, I have a negative blood type, and theoretically, I could become a donor for Clark, but I have never done this before, and I'm terribly afraid to donate blood, so I'm not sure if I will be able to do it. After hearing this, guys began to make fun of and laugh at him, while he looked down because of embarrassment. Of course, he knew that the reaction of his classmates would be exactly like that, but apparently, the desire to help me turned out to be stronger, and I was very grateful for his courage. At the same time, his offer to help shocked me. The thing is that Jacob and I have always been enemies. Moreover, he himself was rather neutral towards me, but I did not really like him, and because of this,
So what this means is, like, they make these fake stories for like little kids to like watch their videos, so they can get a lot of views. And why they get a lot of views is that the kids don't know. When mostly all of them are fake. Like, you cannot become a ghost. Yeah. So, have a battle for you, Wood. So first, must be open my hands more. Look at that. Nothing really that good. So I'm going to be making videos way more often right now because it looks like donated for coins. So, have a battle for you. Now this is only one battle though. So you saw that fake story. Well, don't worry about it. It's probably nothing. Now, don't get fooled by these like clickbait stories. And now, the battle. I bet I'm gonna find identity song again. Or not. Get Rush! Dude. He started to lick me again. Not today. Nope. See, I won. That's the end of the video. Bye and bye.